All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. This is fielded a couple yards deep. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Double tight, double tight. We got three down. Done. 180.
Check 59, Mike. Mike is 59. Mike to 59.
Here on 1st down. He's going to take a shot right away and nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Watch left, watch left, watch left. He's tied right there,
Here we go, sit on. Black 20. We got three down. Hey, lift.
The play clock getting low, so Sean Payton says let's take a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Watch left. Tight end to the right.
Value 1. Here we go, sit on. 180. Check 24.
Kill.
Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Reno. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2.
Watch that end. Tight end's right. Louis. Cut. 180. Hey, switch gears. Check 30. Let's go.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. The 12 yards that time and picking up the first. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
20. 14.
From the 15, it's gone. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Ross. A gain of 6 there on first.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate
76,
them.
tell
Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Check 3. Check.
On 2nd down, and just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. Now with the play clock at 4, we're going to get a timeout called. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3.
Hey, we got 3 down. Mike's 59.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a 1st down. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone. Because the closer you get to the end zone, the field makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
59, Mike is 59, Mike the 59.
Let's go.
All right, T, let's go. All right, T.
And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
If you're the coaching staff upstairs, you might want to file that play away. Did you see how fast the safety closed on that one? Coming up in run support, made a big-time tackle. You might want to try and check into a pass next time.
Yeah, got him for a loss. Really, really great play defensively.
Here we go.
Now they're coming up on play number 8 of this opening drive, but they're looking at a 3rd and long.
Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver.
Watch one, watch one. Let's go, D.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the time.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason.
Strong right.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 30.
Action here on first down.
Undercrush.
And his first pass is incomplete.
Play action is supposed to be used to slow down pressure, slow down blitzes. In this case, though, if it takes a little too long to develop, you got people right in your face.
And lucky just to get rid of the ball with the arm going forward. Could have been a fumble. Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
Kevin Coleman. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Easy work.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
Tight end to the right, boys. Tight end to the right. Move.
Set. Green.
To throw. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Cameron Jordan. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. The Falcons send out their punter. As the drive goes backwards, the punter around. That's pulled in at the 32. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh,
Hell, you won.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
But that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
Here we go, boys. Here we go.
A yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Watch tight end. We got 3. We
got 180. Twos.
59's Mike. 59's Mike. Check. 59.
17.
2nd down. Throws this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Check. Lucky.
We go, Salat. 180.
Now it's one fake, and it's gone.
Go.
And it's complete to Kelsey. And he's got this down to the 35.
Here we go.
First catch on that one for Kelsey, and it's a 1st down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open. He finds a way to pick up a first down.
And he'll get down to about the 26-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Double tight.
Jula. Hey. 4 down. 76, tell him. 76.
And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well. But when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down.
All right. Come on out.
Watch tight. Tight end right.
Like 29.
On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
Check.
Hey, lift. Here we go, sit on. 180.
Shedding the tackle, and gives him some room. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. The tackle made there by Tack McKinley.
Run.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Here we go,
Saints
Here we
on
go.
3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Louis.
Eyes on 13.
Out. Here we go.
From the gun, it is gone. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. The 3rd down battle won by Atlanta's defense. Solid coverage. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. And Lutz's kick is good. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And Charles,
Back
if the season
out,
ended
Philly, here we
today,
go.
and it's not going to, we still have December.
Hurry up, here we go.
They would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least 1 home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
All right, now, lucky 56. Check number. All right, now, look at 56.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Gets this one to Ridley, complete. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is.
All right, here we go.
A nice play.
He goes underneath to Freeman. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down. The Falcons send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this will be taken at the 13. A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it,
3 down,
touchdowns.
3 down. Hey, we're going to sit on. 180. 5, 5, 5, 5.
He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 43 yards.
Well, there's simply no sense in wasting a great catch like that on a short gain. Get downfield like you just did there and use it up that way.
No dink and dunk. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Louis. We got 3 down, 3 down. Done. 180. Check 43. Out. We go.
A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Get there.
Your trip ends here, baby. Your trip ends here. Break. 2 times. Odd. 5 down. Stand up in.
And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Jared Goff, touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Saints add on to their lead. Lux with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Lutz now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do you need to do to pick up the 1st down and change up the game?
And down he goes just beyond the 35, but that pretty move got him some extra space to run. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
You don't want no problems with me. Watch tight. Tight end's right. Watch tight. Tight end's right. Set. 3-19. 3-19. 3 down.
On 2nd down, they'll spot it at the 44. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
On the heels of that good carry by Devontae.
All right, here we go.
First and 10. They'll look to throw. He's going to go for a big play down. This is caught inside the 15.
I'm going to hit you all
And he'll be down
day,
deep into New Orleans territory. A big-time play there for the Falcons. 44 yards.
3 down.
And
Three
play
down.
is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And with that, they're now out of timeouts. And still plenty of time remaining here in this second quarter. A first chance
All right,
in
now,
the
look at
red
56.
zone for the
Look at
Falcons
56.
now. They've got a first and 10 at the 11.
3 down. 3 down.
Out of the gun. And they'll go backwards here.
Yeah.
Losing yardage to the 14.
Watch tight end. Watch.
Detroit! Detroit! Now let's go! Green, 30.
Now a shotgun snap as they look to throw. And it's caught. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. In for the score. And the Falcons have cut it to within a score.
Brandon, what we just saw there, two guys who are in sync. The person delivering the ball, but especially the person running the route. Tremendous job. It results in a terrific play.
Bryant tacks on the extra point, and it's now 13-7. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints coming out now to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Dot, white 20.
Yeah, we got 3 down, but we got to stand up over there.
Twos. Check 59. Mike is 59. Mike the 59.
Going deep downfield for Ross.
Crash.
And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, second and 10.
Tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
Jester.
On second down. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Falcons grab it. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys... You have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them. Big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
Tight end left. 3 down.
So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. A minute 57 to go in this first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout.
right.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Alert. 3 down, 3 down.
They'll look to throw.
Watch Mike.
And
Watch Mike.
incomplete on the deep ball.
Outside's coming.
They're going for a receiver there. Already has one touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had.
Strong
Here's
right.
3rd and 6.
Strong right. Strong right.
All right, here we go. Blue 90.
And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Demario Davis. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down. Bryant's kick is good. And that will cut the lead back down to 3 at 13-10. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So, in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive.
3 down, 3 down.
Let's go.
Check, go get him, go get him, go get him.
14. 14. Turbo 7.
First and 10, gone. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make this a 2nd down. Second and 6, just inside the 30.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. We got 3.
Harbaugh.
We got 3.
The throw on 2nd down is gone. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15.
3 down, 3 down.
We go Salah. 180.
And the pressure gets to him again. And the Falcons going to use another timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Here comes the Saints punter now. Standing just about on his own goal line. Last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. And he fields it cleanly. 12 yards on the return that time. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play
All right, now, lucky
this.
56.
I think
Lucky
we'll find
56.
out just how much they trust their guys in this situation to decide to take a shot.
Check.
Come out
3 down, 3
throwing here
down.
on first down. Look into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Malik Hooker. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Don't throw my side.
Nice pick, nice pick. Go, son.
Final shot before break here. Goff. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And that is out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Falcons now. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up. And we still have a chance to win this game.
We'll see if they can pick it up. Coleman. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
That's it,
Tackle
baby.
is made by Cameron Jordan. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
Watch him now, Barney.
Crash.
On the ground again, it's Coleman. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
Yeah, baby. Single.
Gun.
They'll set up to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, like we saw there. I don't know, the rhythm seems off. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. It's taken to the 26. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. We talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more Every now and then, though, they get after you if they think they need to light a fire.
Nowhere to go. Here he lost the football. But fortunately, the Saints were able to hold on to it, so they will indeed keep possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
We got three. Three down.
Here's Goff. Going deep downfield for Ross. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down. Then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back. But it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and forever.
Three down.
Hardball.
Pick the edge.
We're good.
Check.
Handoff. Now Goff. Looking downfield for Kelsey. He's got a man. Complete. And all the way down to the 35. A big play for the Saints on 3rd down.
Here we go.
41 yards. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Throwing for his running back. He's got him complete. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yards. at the 39.
Yeah,
And before
baby,
the second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Check, tight right. Solo out there, check the outs out there.
180!
Hey, guys, check me out. We got 3 down, but we got to stand up over there.
He's got his man on the crossing route.
Yeah,
And he's going to get
baby.
this down near the 20-yard line. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Here we go, fellas. Here we go. Jula.
Twist.
Check 59, Mike. Starting left here. Mike to 59.
Toss it to Brady. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
That's a strong pickup right there on first
Here they come,
down.
here
And
they
as this
come.
drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive
76,
line
tell
and
'em.
running game
76.
imposing its will.
76. 76. Tell him. 76.
They stop down. This time it's Kamara. And he stopped immediately
They
there.
don't want it.
No gain on the
Keep
play, and
playing
now they're
hard,
faced with a 3rd and 1.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The keeper, here's Goff. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first.
I got him.
He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the first.
Shift.
Cordell. 76. Tell him. 76. 76.
Out.
Jula.
Mike.
Let's go.
59.
Tiger.
Carry. It's Kamara. And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see
Here we
that
go, here
type
we
of
go.
a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the
Switch.
scoreboard.
Jula.
59's Mike. Check. 59.
They run it again with Kamara. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. What's good on the extra point? And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Lutz now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Watch tight end.
Back 99 Philly. Here we go.
3 down.
Set. 3.
As they set up to throw. Steps and he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Devon Kennard coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down.
Gun! Detroit!
Shotgun. He'll look to throw. Big hold of the 30. And he hits his running back, Tevin Coleman. They give him a gain of 37.
They're coming.
So what's the old expression that quarterbacks like to use when they decide to throw the football,
Okay, baby,
I'm looking for either a touchdown or a check down. And he took the check down on that play, and it worked almost to perfection.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up first and 10.
Right. Alert, alert. 3 down, 3 down.
He takes this for about 6, down inside the 40.
Leopard!
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely, pretty good run.
They didn't get a first down, but still, get the runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line.
Big hit.
It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
3 down, 3 down.
And he's taken down here by the Saints.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road
All right,
gets a
now,
bit
lucky
tougher
56.
from here.
Lucky 56.
Throw here out of the gun, and his throw's going to be incomplete.
Just work with me a second here, because in my lifetime, seeing how quarterback percentages have changed in throwing the football, I mean, back in the good old days, if you were around 50%, you were doing okay. But now, you need to be 65 to 70% to be considered an elite quarterback. And in this ball game, it feels like we're playing old school, right around 50%.
Yeah, he's under 50%. He needs to start hitting
All
more
right, now, lucky
targets.
56.
This
Lucky
offense in
56.
desperate need of
Now
a
let's go.
conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
3-19.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
With Kamara. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Oh, yeah.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the 4th. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
Kill, kill, kill. Turn up. Kill, kill, kill. Turn up.
Here we go, fellas. Here we
Now on 2nd down. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
Let's go, fellas.
It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Tight end left. We got three.
Jester.
Mike's 59.
Tiger. 5.
We own.
First down, it's gone. He's going to let this one go deep. It's caught inside the 25. It's a big play there for the Saints. 49 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Hey. We got three. 3 down.
Twos.
Mike 5'9".
17.
Drops this up to Kamara out of the backfield. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
Nice hit, boy.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long.
3 down.
Hey, lift.
And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. And Duke Riley will get credit for the tackle.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 11.
Odd. 3 down.
Now it's gone. And intercepted. Maybe the starting point they need. Picked off at the 13. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands.
53. Mike.
Ito Smith is the most carry. And he runs across the 20 to the 24-yard line.
Crash.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Run.
No matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Now back to throw. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. The Falcons on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
No, check, Patriot!
Yards.
Detroit!
First down. Trying to lay one on deep. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him.
Check 25.
Yeah, the Saints signal for another timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in the second half. Here's 1st and 10. They get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13.
18,
Just a yard on the first down carry, so 2nd and 9.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, shotgun, and they ran out of it. It was a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Three down.
Is called.
Hey, fellas, we got three. Let's go.
Touchdown, Falcons. Tevin Coleman, his 9th touchdown of the season, and the Falcons draw a bit closer. Well, he wasn't the guy they were initially going for, but after going through the progressions, it worked.
When you have plenty of people who can catch the football, you don't always have to go to your primary target, and sometimes that target is actually covered. Who was open.
And the man out of the backfield gets in for the score. A little surprising they wouldn't go for 2, but this is up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, 1-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping to you on the other side of the ball, saying, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. If there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
Hey, we got 3 down.
Check 59, Mike.
They go back to the arm here after the INT on the last drive. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, a 22.
Watch Mike.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy
76,
type of a
tell him.
throw. I think he
76.
looks at it as,
76.
I can do it.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Switch it. Come on, switch it.
Super 66. Starting left here.
Here's Bree. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Woo! I know you feel that.
Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
59. Man, I got you.
Right on first down. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10.
180.
59's Mike. Check, 59. Keep it up, defense, keep it up.
Super 66.
This is Camara. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
It's coming again.
Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10.
Check 50.
Super 66.
Mike's 59.
Let's go, 12. Let's go.
Now on this play, it's Breida. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32.
I know you felt that one.
And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Value one.
Mike's 5'9", Mike's 5'9". Watch the pass, watch the...
Super 66.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's fourth down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Puts this one through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now.
Hurry up, here we go.
The execution.
Blue 90. Blue 90. Gun, gun. Gun, gun. Hot.
Coleman has it here right side. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
Is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely.
Detroit, Detroit.
He's back to throw.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
Throw right side, caught by
Let's
Ridley.
make these babies cry all the way back
A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Well, how about keeping your head about you in this situation? No more timeouts. Finds a way to get out of bounds. Now they can breathe a little bit as they contemplate what to do on the next down.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move
Gun,
on
gun.
first down.
Gun, gun. Hurry up, here we go.
Back to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
That's very well timed there defensively, because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right.
Set. Green 39.
He'll look to throw. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The Falcons on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Single.
That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
So down 6, and they know they need this one on 4th down. Gotta try it here. He's back to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. Little OT scramble drill that time, Mr. Davis.
And, partner, I can tell you from personal experience, nothing drives a defense crazier than having things covered and the quarterback takes off and picks up a first down or big yardage. Because whether you're in zone or man, it's easy to lose track of him because you don't always have someone assigned to him. And once he goes, now everybody's scrambling to try and tackle him.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. So long, everybody.